What's up, y'all? It's your girl J Renee with Riot Radio. I hope that you're doing well. On the phone right now, we got a brother that goes by the name Al G, and he's got a few things that he got going on, so we're gonna chop it up with him for a little bit. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm alright. Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for being here. So let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you from.
You already said my name, Al G, but my full name, Al, but everybody do call me Al G. I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana, and I did a little moving around from, different places like Elkhart, South Bend, so pretty much Gary, Northwest.
Oh, okay, for sure. So, I know you behind the G-Ball right now. Where are you currently at, and how long you been down?
So currently I'm in Pendleton, Indiana, and I've been down 15 years.
Okay. That's a substantial block of time, What has kept you, motivated day to day while serving?
Well, part of my motivation, I wouldn't, prefer it to be my motivation, but, my kids had a lot to do with my motivation. Just getting an understanding that, I want to be the best for them. And I had some good people around me since I've been incarcerated where, I ain't had to go a particular way. And more than that, though, it's been God. I thank Jesus for, where my head at.
Right, for sure. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we got to thank him and sometimes we got to call him, you feel me? So I can respect that for sure. So let's jump into the things that you've been doing since you've been, behind the G-Wall. I heard you do poetry, you write screenplays, music, and short stories. So I'm going to just ask you, what made you want to be a writer?
So, since a youngster, I can think back in 95 when my brother first put a beat behind me and I did my first rhyme. I've been writing ever since. I was doing poetry and music at that time, and I actually, before my incarceration, I had a little studio and I was putting little tracks down, here and there. But since being behind the wall, what really stood out was a guy invited me to a Shakespeare thing, and I was like, man, I ain't got time to be learning those new languages because that's how I felt about Shakespeare. He's like, nah, man, just do it. And so I ended up joining, and it ended up being better than I thought. I still didn't like the new language, but it ended up being better than I thought. And during this time, the idea came about like, well, why don't you write more, stories? And so they came about, and simultaneously there was some people here, debating on doing the movie, and I got to see, a known actor at the time going by the name of Jeffrey Ray, and that sparked my screenplay writing. So
yeah, I was about to ask you that. A lot of people write, but screenplays is an avenue that many people, don't go down. So how many screenplays have you wrote?
So I'm on my number 4 right now, and I would say my last 2 ended up being better than I thought. Not saying that anybody else got to see them, but I was able to tie some of my musical abilities into my story making, which made it more easier for me to write the screenplays these last 2 times.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything published yet?
Well, I do have a book of poetry on a website, prisonsfoundation.org, called You Heard It From Me. But as far as that goes, that's the only thing I have out.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, we might be able to change that in the future. If you wanted to, of course.
Yeah.
I know that.
I've been real patient.
Yeah, patience is definitely a virtue. So I want to get back to this music. So with music, it was hip hop, right? I don't want to assume, but it was hip hop music.
Yeah. I ain't got no problem with country or any contemporary music, but it was hip hop.
Right. Yeah, I'm cool with all of them too. I don't know about the country though, bruh. I don't know.
I done wrote some country songs now. I got some. I can't share with the.
Okay.
Look, music. If it got the right words and the nice melody, I'm with it.
Right. Okay. I definitely can't argue with that. That's for sure. I can't argue with that at all. So so let me ask you, you know, there's a lot of brothers and sisters, you know, that are behind the G wall, and they can't get motivated, you know, and stuff like that. You know, what would you you know, what kind of motivation or something that you would say to them, you know, to help them keep their head?
Well, one thing I will say is don't look beyond your experience. I mean, you know, I always think about, you know, most of the things that I write come from the places in which I was at.
Right.
So my experience, you know, helped me, you know, in a way to articulate what needed to be said. And so, I mean, so say for instance, you know, a person who goes through abuse, they got to tell their truth in that moment. And you have to be honest with your experience, and then if you can elaborate or articulate on that experience, it'll benefit somebody else as well.
Right.
So let your experience motivate you at all times.
Okay, I like that advice. So, you know, when you told me about your poetry, I'm a poet myself. So I definitely would love to hear something that you wrote. It's one particular piece. When you told me the name of it and what it was about, you know, I was like, yeah, I definitely, you know, want you to get that out into the atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, are you willing to share that with me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, whenever you're ready, bro.
Anytime I'm willing to go, I can just go.
Yep, it's all on you. You got the mic.
Okay, thanks. So this poem that I wrote not too long ago, it was called Force Fed. And it was just, I was just thinking about, you know, all the things that prisons should be offering, but they don't, but they still got to feed you something. And it's not nutritional for us, you know. So, have you ever seen someone fed intravenously through a tube, unable to use their mouth or their teeth to chew? Some due to physical ailments in which their bodies can respond, but nourishment is still needed to help them get along. Then there are those who are force-fed to keep them alive, hunger striking for change while others just want to die. Keep this in mind while I speak about inmates isolated in cells, 23-hour lockdown with nothing to help them prevail. 13-inch TVs become tools in the hopes of holding one's attention, flicking through channels in search of a babysitter. Overcome by donors as they idly give movies their participation, force-fed entertainment, but they really need an education. I too am incarcerated and believe the prisons are needed. But if it's really about reform, then I question what we're eating. Force-feeding punishment, we need more of a variety. Therapy and vocation so that we can benefit society. When systems are deficient, one works to help it become immune. Proper nourishment can be given before one ever has to use a tool. By force-feed someone scraps just to keep them getting by. When you hold within your possession all that can help them thrive. Healthcare is a joke, force-fed a stroke, generic medication going down your throat, hanging from a rope, made because of no hope. Force-fed death, the system is so broke. But those are the results of what we fed this institution. When a crime was committed, we fed a retribution. Dishing out pleas because it sure ain't a bargain. Force-fed an agreement, a public defender won't argue. High-priced phone calls, commissary, big business. Burning money from our families and Biden's latest stimulus. But like the movie Life, you gonna eat your cornbread? We don't have a choice, but we all are force-fed.
Damn.
That's it.
Damn, bro. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, I didn't know the reality of one of those lines was gonna really mean something because it happened after the fact. In the last 2.5 weeks, I helped somebody, you know, come down from a rope, and I wrote this before this, and this guy actually died 2.5 weeks ago, and he was going through healthcare issues, and I never knew that that line itself was going to be so relatable to that situation. When I say healthcare is a joke, force-fed a stroke, generic medication going down your throat, hanging from a rope, made because of no hope. Force-fed death, the system is so broken. He was a cool guy, but he lost his life because he was going through a whole lot medically, and he felt like he couldn't get the help he needed, and he took his life. And I was the second one in there to try to help him get out, but it didn't work out.
I hate to hear that. You know what I mean? I hate to hear that for sure. And to experience and see something like that, I definitely can relate. And it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. So, you know, our prayers is with you, of course, and with all of y'all, you know, all of y'all behind the G-Wall. You know, y'all are not alone. Y'all are cared for and loved by people like y'all ain't never even met before. You know what I mean? So, before I let you, oh, for sure, bro, for sure, 100%. Before I let you go, you got any shout-outs?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my supporters, you know, my mom, she always been a cool mom.
Right.
So, you know, I'm a girl dad, so I'll shout out to my daughter, but my son as well. Right. But shout out to all the people that support me, man. You know, I've been, like I said earlier, I've been very fortunate to be around some cool people, and they know who they are, and I'm very grateful for that. Shout out to Miss J, because she has provided the platform, you know, so I appreciate that as well. So I wish you well on all your future endeavors.
For sure, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I do full time now. Not just this, but like dealing with social justice issues and all of that. Like, this is what I was put on this earth to do. Like, I realize that now. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. When I was a young girl, I used to read the newspaper out loud and stuff because I wanted to be able to articulate. I wanted to be on the news and stuff. You know, the person telling the news anchor or whatever. And it's crazy how everything came full circle. And I'm still a journalist, just not on a level I thought, like a bigger level. You know what I mean? So everything came back full circle. But I appreciate you for, you know, sitting down with us. Oh, before I forget, how can people get in contact with you if they want to reach out?
The best thing, I got a P.O. box if you want to get at me. P.O. Box 2571, Elkhart, Indiana 46515. P.O. Box 2571, Elkhart, Indiana 46515.
Alright, thanks for that info. But like I was saying, bro, I appreciate you for sitting with me. You know what I mean? And I definitely would love for you to share more of your writings with us. You know, as the time progresses, you know, to keep your voice out there, you know. I would love to hear some of your music sometime, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this is a platform for y'all, for your voice. So whatever you want to put out, you know, it's there for you to do so.
Cool. This kind of got me there because I haven't did this in so long, in the sense of you know, people that know me know I don't put a whole lot out there, because usually when I use, you know, some of my talents to get this, usually during a conversation of somebody needing some help at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of write towards, you know, I guess want to provide an alternative, if I could say it that way. Yeah, so I usually don't share none of my gifts or talents. That's why I can't share one of my country songs, because I'll be, you know, I can't share it right now because I got to make sure it's providing an alternative for somebody right now.
Okay, I understand. I understand. That's what's up, yo. Like, for real. I respect it 100%. But all right, bro. I'm gonna let you go. It's been a pleasure.
All right, thank you.
All right, for sure. This your girl, J. Renee, with Prison Riot Radio. Peace.